So coming back to price list, it's kind of revision like contain price list and currency, specific product and services, item categories, product groups, same price for all items. That is when we have all items. Prices can be absolute values, percentage of other prices, formulas, positive and negative values. We have seen this earlier as well. So yeah, these all we have seen. This currency we have talked about. Rounding factor for currency, there is this profile option which limits the number of precision type. So it will help us what precision we want to have on price list. Primary unit of measure we discussed, like if I go to the price list and select that button, then it will price that in that unit of measure for other unit of measures as well. So just to make that thing a little more clear, I just want to show you how unit of measures are defined. So this is inventory module, and in here when you come to unit of measure and unit of measure conversions, so yeah. So yeah. So for this item you see power bank. The primary unit of measure is each, which is its base unit of measure, and then I have defined another unit of measure called case of 10. Now what it means is that case of 10, if that is the unit of measure, then the conversion factor would be 10. Like in a case there are 10 eaches, which is um, like 10 of the power banks itself.
Okay.
Now in our price list, when I go and tell the price, so in here you see that I have made this as eaches. Now because I have defined one more unit of measure for it, there will be case of 10 should have come here. Case of 10 is there, and I can save it. So now what it means is that the case of 10 has a cost of $1,000, and if I make it primary unit of measure for pricing, that means it will derive price for each is 10,000 divided by 1,000 divided by 10, that is 100 per unit. So that is the difference that we'll see now if we go to the price list, or sorry, order. You see, so yeah, I think I defined price as case. Oh, so you see, yeah. So this, because this is each, didn't do that. Because this unit of measure is coming from the primary unit of measure of item. Now
Okay.
when we have defined, when in inventory I defined this case of 10, actually I enabled this item to be sold in eaches and 10. But
Okay.
what I see is, that is what I have enabled. Now if I choose any other unit of measure, it will fail because that is not defined for this item. So if I try to save here, it's doing it because this case is defined as universal. I have to tell you a little more now. That's why the thing was little weird, but now I understand. So the one that you define here as a standard, so they have defined almost everything as a standard. Like if I say, these things should not be defined as a standard because though these are very clear in meaning, like case of 160 should have 160 eaches, but if you were just saying case and if you put in here like 10, it becomes universal for all the cases. So that is the reason whenever anything is defined in here, it becomes a standard. Like you should not define much as a standard cases of conversion other than like very basic one like 1 liter is equal to 1 kg, those kind of that come in interclass in here. These are the standard things. In here should not
Okay.
define actually. Those should be defined in intra-class conversions. So someone has not done that correctly. That's why the problem is coming in there. Otherwise it would have behaved the way I was explaining, but it is okay. People play on these instances. But as we saw that case of 10, when we enabled that as the pricing unit of measure, it became the pricing unit of measure there as well. Okay, and yep. Okay, so yeah, we were talking about different things. So the profile option that controls the negative price is QP negative price, and if it is yes, it will do the negative pricing, otherwise not. So just check that. We were not this one, but here I was checking that profile option. Yeah, so this is the one. If they have more description of this, I can tell you. Yeah, so yes means you are allowing negative pricing, and we can check it in our system. Yeah, so default value is set as yes and user value is overridden. We can go into sysadmin and change it to no and then see what happens. Let us set as yes at the site level. So I'll just leave it at user level. Well, let me override it at site level itself so that becomes no. So what I'm doing here is I'm going and changing uh, not changing this thing, but since we had the discount of 1000 for 10 item, what it will do now, that is what we are going to see. But before that to I need to do one more thing, that is in our price list, change that primary unit of measure back to each. Okay, so for one it comes as discount of $10, but looks like a little more. Yeah, $10 by this, and we are getting something more by and some other modifier, which is 20% off something. Possibly we created this one yesterday, MYM1.
Yeah, I have created that.
Okay. So yeah, so this is giving that much discount. So let's do 15 straightforward and see what happens. Yeah, the list price 1000 or selling price minus 192 is negative, and the profile is set to N. So that's the error message. It is saying that it will not drive the price to negative. It does not allow me to do that. So that's the help, because no one would like to have negative price. So yeah, so that one thing we covered itself today, and few things that I wanted to talk about was this sharing. So system will not allow us negative. Last time what we saw was we were giving discount of $1,000 if the quantity of item was more than 10. Now the price of the item was itself less than 1,000, so as soon as the quantity was becoming more than 10, the discount
Yeah, it
was
was.
so much that it was going to negative. You are selling something but paying it to customer. So that is the reason that most of the places you will see no one should actually have negative prices. See a business scenario for it. So default value should be no instead of yes, but that's not what is not coming from Oracle. So surprising, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, so that's what we saw. Like if we set up advanced pricing, the first thing we should do is to change this profile option to no instead of yes.
Okay.
Okay. So that is one part, and then see this price. What do you think if I just go ahead and type like 5,000 here? Thing is, if I create a manual modifier which says that I can do a manual change, you see this one. This is another modifier that got applied right now. So it is manually applied, and this is the reason someone has given. So this, if this modifier was not defined, then I could have come here and changed the prices here, because this or like this one, this is having a manual override, so I can say 50 here. So it will apply $50 more discount. That is the manual override thing, which allows you to change it in here. But the way I did it is because of this manual override modifier.
Okay.
So normally
So
we don't define these, because then anyone can come and just change the price, like your customer care person who is taking order with the customer, and they kind of convince him, and he can go ahead and just change the price. So these
Right.
kind of modifiers normally should not be defined. So yeah, this is the modifier which is there. If you see, this has override checked, all line adjustment, nothing else on the stack. In the sales order process, approvals, I have not seen many people using the approvals for sales order. I've seen approvals mainly for purchasing side, like this is the amount a buyer can purchase, and then a higher level buyer can, or his manager can approve. On sales order type, because you are selling something, unless the scenario is exactly what you are saying, that you give them flexibility to change price, but they can change after to certain limit by themselves and then by approvals. That makes a perfect sense, but haven't seen that happening. Okay, so that was manual adjustments, and manual override is the thing that we have already talked about. Now calculate price flag. We talked briefly about this thing, but I haven't shown you this yet, so I'll show you that thing now. So this order was booked today, so someone was using this one. So if we want to see the calculate price flag, we have to come to the pricing flag. We see that field is not enabled here, so I'll add that field, and this is a good way. If you guys not know it, then this is how you add a field which is present but not visible. You click on this tools bar, folder tools, this smaller screen appears, and then you add the field that you know of. So just giving the brief name, that comes up. So calculate price flag has value like calculate price, freeze price and partial price. Now till the point this value has calculate price, you can still, create new modifier, apply or kind of edit the pricing of the line. After certain event in the workflow, this will become freeze price. Now if it becomes freeze price, you will not be able to edit the price for this. So suppose I just made a freeze price for this line. Now I will not be able to change the price for this line. Actually, it didn't stop me. The list price remains this, so I don't know what it is doing right now, but normally it will not allow me to throw some error. So freeze price. Let me do one thing more. Yeah, actually. Okay, so this manual override modifier is working on this, but I think that's like I'm overriding manually, but still the freeze price flag. If this becomes freeze price, like in by the workflow, the price cannot be changed after that. And partial means like you cannot change the price through list price, but you can still add the charges on it, like freight charges and all. That is the meaning of these flags. But unfortunately, they can be applied at the line level as well as the header level. So all the sum of charges will come in this field from all the lines. Like in here, if you have a freight or some kind of modifier which is freight and surcharge, it will apply here.
Okay.
So the sum of those comes here. Yeah. So the calculate price flag on order line controls if the pricing calculate should be done on the line. If it's set to calculate price, both pricing and freight charges are done. If it is set to partial price, only freight charges are done. Freeze price, neither pricing nor freight charges calculation is done. Yeah, you see that? Now this time, though we have that, oh no, it will not apply because this is a different customer. So what I was trying to do here is freeze price and the modifier will not get applied, but modifier will anyways not get applied because this is a different customer and our customer is 1991 some other. So I'll choose some other order, this one. Yeah. Yeah, you see this? So this time the modifier is not getting applied to it.